Back for more to kick the raw, representing everyone's you and I verse. First of all, we're gonna get into the music. This is saying, shout out to all the Pisces in the building, and shout out to the Pisces Ab Soul and his producer Python P on the beat. We're gonna get into it. I seen him just recently do a real big show on YouTube. So go ahead and tap in with Python P. Peace and love, shout out to the all the Californians and things of that nature. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this. Universe with the fire back like 4-5. The allure, it won't stop. It's existential in like 20 seconds or more. Can you counteract the allure? I gotta braille it out, spell it out. Dope epidemic. A heroine to save this. We might need the heroine to save this, like a female. A one and only system is more than just lifted. Whoa, K. Dot, J. Rock, I'm levitating. Is a friend, I got y'all open. We the hope. Everyone's universe. Minimalistic to the victims. They don't see me. I still pass the spectrum. Get the message. Play it like chess. You in the line of fire with your weak ass fast. A TMS conquest. Chop that. Now double that. Now chop that. Intellect like most deaf. Tupac, they still want to know who shot. 2 and 1, all in one. But I'm off that. Haha. A dino alien. Had the arms to wrap around the game, but I had to flunk the fame. Switch it up. What the fuck is 50 cents? Oh, my motherfucking Manila. Double time rhyme scene, Manila literally ain't shit to me. Gun medical real all this just like it spiritually. Incandescently. It's my destiny. How enlightening I could get. And I would grip your skirt. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get into this with the moon in Pisces and the sun in Libra. First and foremost, we're going to break down the Pisces first house rising and ascendant. So shout out to everybody tapping in the building. Thank y'all for being in the chat. Shout out to Corado Gamer, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my Latinos in the building and things of that nature. And shout out to Zilver G 422. 4,222. And shout out to Haywood. Yo, I seen you on Dolo chat before, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Haywood, you blow me. I like that name. But yeah, we're going to check out this message for review, see if it's a reprobate. Shoot, yeah, see, look, you're talking crazy stuff. At the end of the day, I'm not even going to show y'all what dude said. But he said something funny, but at the end of the day, the YouTubes might not like it. At the end of the day, I don't really like it because he's talking crazy in the building. But yeah, he got a funny name though. So shout out to dude being in the building. Your hard-earned tax dollars from my dude is hilarious. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and tap in with this Pisces in the first house. So the first house is all about your personal affairs, your individuality, and things of that nature. So at this point in time, you're going to be feeling comfortable with your individuality or feeling uncomfortable with your individuality at this point. So it's like, if you a Pisces rising, just accept yourself. And it's like, nobody can be you but you. So you, at the end of the day, you got to feel comfortable with yourself, or nobody else can do that for you. But yeah, shout out to everybody being in the building. You could be in the world, anywhere in the world, but you here with me. And shout out to the individual that created that saying. His name is Jay-Z. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, there's certain celebrities that we be looking at like, whoa, like, what does you got going on? But other celebrities be like, oh, okay, I can see where they go, and I see where they stick back and things of that nature. Pause. And stay to the back and stay away from circumstance situations. But At the end of the day, we don't heard some things. We don't really know if they're reality. So like I'm the kind of individual that like to wait until the dust clear, and then at the end of the day, we're gonna actually see like, oh, is that reality or is that, I'm saying, kind of like a false belief? You know? And that's like the moon in Pisces. It's like, is this actually a dream? Is this something in the reality? Is this something we could actually see? Like, yeah, that's a certified fact when the dust clear, like Virgo energy, or is it in that low Pisces realm? It's like, oh, this is the future, but it's at the end of the day it's in a space where it's like, shoot, you know what I'm saying? I seen somebody say something crazy. I had to remove that real fast. But yeah, it's like, is this in the illusionary state, or is this actually a dream that could actually come to reality? And when the dust clear, we can actually see like, yeah, this is really what it is. Or, you know what I'm saying, it's in a space that's like, is this a false belief, or is this actually something that we could actually believe in? And shout out to my real nice chair. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Got me a new chair, you dig, for the real nice screams and all that. If y'all tapped into the last video, y'all heard my little story time about what I'm working with right now. I'm saying, took a little break from the YouTube. I'm saying, to get my mind right and things of that nature. Not to say things was going left, but at the end of the day, an individual was working too hard for oneself and kind of like being a little bit too hard on myself. So it's like, at the end of the day, you got to keep it moving. And as long as you don't quit on your dream, you keep on moving towards it and keep on, you know what I'm saying, fighting for your right to party. At the end of the day, you're going to achieve your dream. You know what I'm saying? The only point that you actually fail is when you quit. So make sure you don't quit. Shout out to my homie Fulcrum on that. Shout out to this and everybody that view the individual named Dolo the Pilot Man. Shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man, because he be kicking good game. But yeah, getting back to the actual premise of the video, the first house rising in ascendant, Aquarius, right? And Aquarius dealing with the Pisces in the second house. What up, Beetlejuice? You said, what's up, man? I'm saying, what's up back, dude? I'm very grateful for y'all being in the building. And shout out to the Lokes and all that, but we're going to lose the Lokes right now. We're going to just like get real deal, you know what I'm saying? Real deal in the building. And like I said, Aquarius rising, I think the homie from the last video that was commenting a whole bunch. At the end of the day, yeah, that's kind of funny. You do said, come on, man. All you got to do is say my name 3 times in a row. It must be spoken. I'm broken. Shout out to Beetlejuice. Shout out to Beetlejuice. I said your name 3 times. I salute all my subscribers, and shout out to everybody that actually be genuine in the building. I think his name was some scallywag. Dude said he's an Aquarius, so we're going to break down all the first house rising, the ascendant Aquariuses, right? And Aquarius is dealing with Pisces in the second house. So essentially, the second house is all about your values of your person, places, things, and ideas. So it's like the idea of the dream that you have and things of that nature. You're feeling comfortable with that at this point in time based on the moon being here. Oh, shout out to the homie subbing, getting your boy to 1K. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody dropping a like in the building as well. I'm very grateful for y'all. And make sure y'all subscribe if y'all want to keep on, you know what I'm saying, getting real good game. At the end of the day, learn about this astrology and learn about oneself to in turn actually learn more about the world around you, and in turn actually benefiting yourself and the world around you. So it's like my whole purpose for my channel is essentially helping one person at a time, and that one person help 10 people, and then those 10 people help 10 people. And it's like they even help one person. At the end of the day, I'm saying, it's like how it's kind of like work in my mind is like 6 degrees of separation. So like one person help themselves, and in turn them helping themselves kind of helps other people get in their own right space and things of that nature, and it benefits everybody. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like, you subscribe to channels like mine, you actually get good game instead of just kind of getting mumbo jumbo and just random stuff that actually doesn't really benefit your life. At the end of the day, everybody need entertainment, everybody need a laugh here and there. I'm saying, so shout out to the channels that are like that. But myself, I'm saying, others like myself, we kind of want you to actually, well, not kind of, we want you to be in a space where you actually benefit oneself. You could actually learn more about oneself and the world around you to actually be in a more beneficial space, right? So getting back to it, the Pisces in the second house is dealing with the places that they dream about, or the actual people that they're dreaming about, and things of that nature. So at this point in time, you want to put yourself in a space where you can actually have a little bit more faith in the people that you're around, or realize that the people that you are like having faith in, maybe this is a false belief at this point in time. So like, keep in mind, Pisces is that like higher or lower octave. It's like those dreams or those false beliefs. The higher octave is like a dream that you could actually achieve, and the lower octave is this false belief and things of that nature. So make sure you're not valuing a false belief at this point in time. You actually are valuing a dream that you actually can continue to work day by day and moment by moment to actually achieve. You know what I'm saying? And moving forward, the Capricorn first house rising and ascendant and is dealing with the Pisces in the third house. And keep in mind, Capricorn is a sextile, seeing the opportunity, a 60-degree angle for the Pisces and things of that nature. So essentially, the Capricorn is able to see the opportunity in their environment to actually see a dream be achieved. And you know what I'm saying, work with other individuals to actually have an accurate conversation about the dream that they're involved with, and see like, okay, is this a false belief, or is this something that's like unachievable, or is this something that I could actually work with these other individuals with to actually bring to fruition and bring to the forefront, right? Sagittarius, first house rising and ascendant, is dealing with the Pisces in the fourth house. So keep in mind, the fourth house is all about your home, your private matters, or your private spaces, or you know what I'm saying, also your emotions that are close to your heart. So the Sagittarius is dealing with a square or a learning opportunity. So the Sagittarius is having to learn to be a little bit more emotional or be a little bit more tapped in with their own emotions about their dreams and things of that nature, and realize that either they're dreaming about something that is close to their heart on the higher octave, or this things that they are holding close to their heart is actually a false belief. And it's actually something they kind of need to separate from and not be so passionate about or not be so emotional about and things of that nature. So keep that in mind. Because like Sagittarius like to be a little bit far out and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, sometimes they need to kind of bring it back and reel it all in and say like, is this actually a dream that I could achieve and things of that nature? Or is this something I could actually see myself doing in the future? Don't be such a wild card. Maybe be something that's a little bit more predictable that people could see like, oh, they're actually in that space. I could see them being in this next space, or like I could dream about where they would be in 10 years and things like that. So like, that's kind of like Sagittarius's thing that they got to deal with right now. Is this something that you could actually see yourself doing over time and things of that nature? Is this something that's actually going to last and things like that? But yeah, moving forward with the Scorpio first house rising and ascendant, they're dealing with the Pisces in the fifth house. And the fifth house is all about your expression or your inner child. So at this point in time, Scorpio is feeling comfortable with their dream of being expressive. So it's like the Scorpio is kind of like this icy individual that doesn't really like to express themselves or come out of their shell, so to speak, or come out of the deep, dark depths. But at this point in time, they're able to see like, oh, these are things that I actually can come out to the forefront and say, this is something I've been dreaming about, and this is something I've been having on my mind as a child and things of that nature. And people are a little bit more receptive to it at this point in time, based on the moon being in Pisces. Everybody's kind of in this like emotional, illusionary state, and they're actually kind of trying to feel comfortable with their own dream. So at this point in time, the Scorpio has a little bit more reception, and they actually have the gift of the trine at this point in time to express oneself about their actual dream. I'm saying, or feel comfortable expressing themselves with their dreams and things of that nature. Then moving forward, the Libra first house rising and ascendant is dealing with the sixth house being in Pisces. And keep in mind, the sixth house is all about your routine, your pattern, your health, and also the details of that. You know what I'm saying? So essentially at this point in time, the Libra, it may be in a misunderstanding circumstance situation, to a point with like the routine about them dreaming about their circumstance situation might not actually be beneficial, to a point where they're always trying to bring balance to people in their individual or their personal affairs or their individual circumstance situation, and they're not actually benefiting themselves over a long period of time, to a point where they can actually dream about where this routine could lead them and things of that nature. So like, you kind of want to realize that, is this routine something that you could actually build on and see yourself doing in the future, or is this a false belief to a point where you're not really benefiting yourself, and this pattern that you're being in is actually not beneficial over time? So it's like, is this a healthy thing that you're dealing with? Is this a healthy dream, or is this an unhealthy dream to a point where it's like a false belief, and you're kind of like, hurting yourself by just being a part of this? Moving forward, the Virgo first house rising and ascendant is dealing with the seventh house being in Pisces. And the left field of that, I just want to salute everybody that's in the building from the last video. And I'm saying you wanted to go ahead and continue to learn and go ahead and learn about your rising sign. So keep in mind, to actually follow along with this video, you want to go ahead and pull up your chart Or if you don't know your rising sign, go ahead and go to like astro-seek.com. You could actually type in all of your date and your birth and your time and your location that you were born. You could actually learn your rising sign and make sure you have the actual accurate time, place, and the day to a point where you actually have the right rising sign, and then you could actually follow along. Like, for example, you'll be able to see like, okay, I have this sign in this certain house, and this is the area of life that I'm dealing with at this point in time based on the moon being here. So like, for example, if you were born at the Virgo period of time of the day, you dig what I'm saying, then you in turn have the Pisces being in the seventh house at this point in time, right? So the seventh house is all about your relations or relationships. So keep in mind, this is also a 180-degree opposition to a point where it's like you can either add on or opposed to this relation or relationship. So it's like you can add on to your relationship dream or the dream of this relationship, or you're realizing this is actually a false belief and this is something that you actually can achieve in this thing that you're relating with. You know what I'm saying? So like kind of get a little bit of a reality check at this point in time to a point where it's like, is what you're relating to actually benefiting you over time? Is this something that you should actually see yourself being a part of in the future? Or is this kind of like a false belief to a point where you're like, dang, this sounds beautiful and this looks beautiful, but it's like at the end of the day, this is kind of an illusion. This isn't realistic. So it's like if somebody actually isn't compatible with you and you don't actually relate, or they're actually not bringing you peace, then this is a relationship that's not actually going to be able to work over time. So keep that in mind as a Virgo rising, right? And you might have to be a little bit opposite to the wave at this point in time, to a point where it's like you kind of got to get real and get into the details of the actual relationship that you're dealing with. And keep in mind, with the moon in Pisces, this is right before the full moon in Aries, right? So it's like you want to be able to kind of release that false belief, or actually be in a space where like, yeah, this is a dream that I'm actually satisfied being a part of, and I could actually go full force with it whenever we have this full moon in Aries, and say like, yeah, whatever I'm taking charge of or whatever I'm actually being personally passionate about, then boom, it's actually beneficial. Moving forward, the Leo first house rising descendant. And this is like a tricky alignment for Leos, because Leos like to be the star of the show. But at the end of the day, the Leo at this point in time, they have to realize that this is a very transformative time. This is a time to actually rebirth oneself, to kind of like see the intricacies of oneself, and you're like do a little bit of shadow work to a point where you actually have to rebirth oneself. And you have to realize what is your actual internal passion that you're dreaming about. Like, what are you actually passionate internally about? And is this like actually a dream that you could actually achieve? Like for me personally, I'm passionate about being on YouTube and teaching one person at a time and actually benefiting themselves and their outside in the outside world to a point where they could actually benefit others as well by them knowing themselves. So it's like my internal passion is helping myself to help others, right? And I realize that this is actually a dream that I can achieve, and I'm actually doing this in reality, right? But on the opposite end, if you're a Leo that is actually having a false belief to a point where it's like, yeah, I just want to be the most liked individual, because not everybody's going to like you. You got to keep that in mind being a Leo rising. And that's kind of like a false belief. At the end of the day, everybody might not appreciate your presence and things of that nature. People might be jealous and things like that. So to a point that it's like you might have to transform your own circumstance situation to a point where you realize that this everybody liking you is like a false belief. You have to transform that and realize that you kind of got to embrace the hate and realize that shoot, people going to be on the opposite end of my presence and things of that nature and the way I shine. And that's something you got to transform and realize that shoot, everybody might not be on your side, but those people that aren't on your side, when they realize you actually have what's the word I'm looking for? Integrity in your intent, integrity in your passion. Then shoot, then them people that were hating and then they actually become part of your side, they gonna actually, you know what I'm saying, go even harder for you than the people that supported you in the first place. So that's a real thing. The people that hate you the most, whenever I actually realize that you are actually benefiting them over time based on you having integrity, then shoot, then people go harder for you than anybody else. Keep that in mind. Saying hate is a great thing. At the end of the day, if we didn't have people to hate on you, then shoot, you wouldn't even know like how strongly you actually want to work to achieve your circumstance situation. So like Leo, keep in mind that you have your own passion. As long as your passion is actually rooted in integrity, then you're gonna be just fine right here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna actually be able to see like this is a dream that I could actually achieve and I could work day by day at it and feel passionate about it. And at the end of the day, as long as it's a dream that you can achieve and it's like not a false belief. my example was everybody liking you. You got to realize that everybody is not going to like you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to like your passion. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, if you have it rooted in integrity, then essentially that's going to be a beneficial circumstance over time, right? Moving forward, the Cancer first house rising ascendant. If you was in the last video, you were saying you heard my little breakdown of this, and this is all about your morality. This is all about your experience being a Cancer rising, or also you traveling. You know what I'm saying? So like at this point in time, realize that you a Cancer, you're dealing with the Pisces energy to a point where it's a trine. So you have the gift at this point in time. So you have the gift to actually have this dream about your morality, or essentially you realize that this morality that you're in is a false belief to a point where the wave that you were riding, now you actually have to go against it based on, you know what I'm saying, you being against the wave and things of that nature, and you have to have a different experience. So like a lot of the time with the transits, you want to ride the wave, you know what I'm saying, not be too above the current to a point where you get on a high to a point where it's actually going to get you on a low, and you know what I'm saying, you end up in a valley. You want to be in this equilibrium state to a point where it's like, okay, now I'm actually riding the wave and I'm with the wave, but no, sometimes I actually have to go against the wave to actually be a part of my own morality and actually feel comfortable in my circumstance, situation, or my experience. So keep in mind, Cancer, that you have the gift to actually be a part of your dream or indulging your dream at this point in time. And you also have the gift to have a false belief. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that certain morality that you're a part of, you have to realize that this might not actually be beneficial, things of that nature. And if it doesn't benefit you and it's not something you could actually see yourself experience over a long period of time, you kind of want to go against that wave that you were riding, things of that nature. And yeah, like I was mentioning in the last video, make sure y'all subscribe. Give me to 1,000 subscribers, you dig? And make sure, you know what I'm saying, you drop a like if you like this video as well. We getting towards the end. We got 3 more rising signs left. We got Gemini, Taurus, and Aries. You know what I'm saying? If you're one of those rising signs, go ahead and thank you. Go ahead and wait. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me, but I'm going to get right to y'all, you dig? And right now we're going to break down the Gemini first house rising ascendant, which is having the Pisces in the 10th house. And keep in mind, the 10th house to the first house is a square. So the Gemini is dealing with a square to the Pisces at this point in time. So they have to learn to be a little bit more communicative and actually have more belief in their status that they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Communicate about this belief that you're dealing with and things of that nature, and learn to be a little bit more aware of what you're actually talking about and being aware of how you affect others at this point in time. So it's like, you're kind of dealing with what you're known for at this point in time. You're dealing with your career or the business that you're a part of. So you don't want to be in the business of just talking out your ear and, you know what I'm saying, being a two-faced individual. You want to be an individual that people can actually have faith in. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be someone that has like a character or being known for having, you know what I'm saying, false faith and things of that nature. So like, you can't actually be trusted with anything. You know what I'm saying? Somebody says something in confidence to you, and you're going and blabbing to everybody about it just for like the sake of the conversation. No, you want to be an individual that someone could actually have a genuine conversation with, and you could kind of keep that in confidence if they wanted you to keep that in confidence. You know what I'm saying? Which is between you two. You know what I'm saying? So realize that your status is on the line at this point in time, Gemini, and be a little bit more conscientious about the emotions that you're saying projecting based on your way that you're communicating. And Taurus, first house rising and ascendant, is dealing with the 11th house being in Pisces. And keep in mind, the 11th house is all about your association and your public persona, right? So what you're associated with or the group that you're a part of. Excuse me. And Taurus is dealing with seeing the opportunity to actually have this group dream or this group association to a point where it's like that's the public persona that you're known for. So like you being an internet persona, the actual commentary that you're dealing with, or like the content of your channel or the content of your profile is like your public persona to a point where you're able to see the opportunity. It's like, okay, do I actually want to have this dream of being a part of this circumstance situation, and I want to be a part of this group, or is being a part of this group actually like a false belief to a point where it's like the way I actually work and the way I am, it actually wouldn't benefit me to be a part of this persona, so to speak, or a part of this group. And it's like you actually want to do something that is in line with your integrity and being in line with the way that you work and the way that you actually want to see yourself being fixed on. So it's like you want to see the opportunity to be fixed on the proper dream and realize that if this is a dream that you actually want to work towards, and this is a group that you want to work with, in the like the next 10 years or something like that, or is this actually like a false belief, and this is kind of like a trend, and you kind of like just following a trend, and whenever the next trend pop up, now you're a part of a new persona and things like that. You're part of a new group. Now at this point in time, you want to see like, okay, maybe I need to be in this like far out space to a point where I can actually be a part of a group that isn't really popular at this point in time, but I know is going to be popular because at the end of the day, I'm in line and integrity with oneself. And this integrity is going to be bringing people that's in this far out circumstance situation to a point where it's like they show up every day and they actually are a part of a group that actually wants to continue to work to see their dream achieved. Like for example, us astrologers, we're in a circumstance situation where we want to help others and things of that nature. We actually want to have beneficial content and help people learn about themselves to a point where we realize that sometimes astrology, yeah, sometimes that's actually like the trend and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, the real astrology and telling you like about yourself and things that you don't want to hear, that's the part of astrology that isn't really like trendy and things of that nature. So, like, as long as you're actually in integrity with the actual like the actual public persona that's beneficial for oneself and others, then that's actually something that you could actually work with every day and actually be honest about the circumstance situation to a point where it actually, at this point in time, it said we reconnected. And like I say, shout out to all the Aries where I'm at. So peace out, y'all. You're peace and love. You believe in all that.